Now that rotating captaincy is a reality for Indian cricket, what exactly does that mean?
The fun answer is that they should embrace this whole thing and do it like the WWE Royal Rumble, where you don't know who the captain is before the game, and then at the toss you have the entrance music play, and whoever's the captain for that day just walks out.
Straight red, Dustin, out of here. These are unique times for Indian cricket. Just the amount of cricket they play and the frequency at which it comes and the management issue for players has meant that they've had a record number of captains over the past 12 months or so across formats. So if someone's handing out caps to captains, that means it's pretty busy these days. We will ask Steyn and Wasim Jaffer, as well as the rest of the Runorder crew in Dustin Salgado, Nagaraj Golapuri and Gaurav Sundaraman. Now that rotating captaincy is a reality for Indian cricket, what exactly does that mean? Could that involve the pros and cons of it? As we are surely going to see a number of different players captain India across formats over the next 12 to 18 months. So that is the reality, Wasim. I don't have any view on this right now, so I want to know yours, because it does seem like Indian captaincy is being passed around, is being picked up by a lot of players, which used to be something rare in the past in your era. Now almost everyone's getting to captain India.
Yeah, I think it's just the times that we are living in. Ronak, we see so much cricket being played. Players are going to be injured. Players are going to be rested. At the moment, Rohit Sharma is the captain in all three formats, but obviously he's not going to play each and every series. He's 34 himself, so you don't see him captaining too long. But yeah, I mean, going forward, India will look to have split captainship. Luckily, we have IPL where we could assess a lot of Indian captains. We found Hardik Pandya in that, and we'll keep finding that. But going forward, I feel that is the way it is going to be.
Is your first reaction, Dale, one that's positive or skeptic, or maybe not, somewhere in the middle, on whether this would be good for a team, whether it would be confusing for a team, the fact that you might have a different guy leading in back-to-back series, as we're seeing now from South Africa to Ireland to England, we're likely to have three different players lead India. Would that at all affect you if you were playing in this Indian team?
I don't think so. I know, speaking from personal, experience of this, the Proteas used to use their T20 team as a way to introduce new players into international cricket. They didn't want to throw them into the deep end of Test cricket or ODI cricket, which is so strange because we've only recently got T20 cricket. Use it as a way to filter in new players, get used to the change room dynamics, the way the game is played, international players, and introduce them to it. I see India doing very much the same thing. There's 1 billion people in India. And I'm sure if you're captain of India, you'd be extremely proud for that. So I don't think they would take that for granted.
I guess it's Indian cricket and Indian selectors should be a happy lot that they have so many choices to make. And I think the second question is is KL Rahul actually the next in line when Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli move out by end of 2023, or Rishabh Pant or Hardik Pandya, whoever is the next fittest guy?
GS has some very strong opinions on what the IPL does to decision making when it comes to captaincy. GS, what do you want to throw up?
I think Naga and Wasim alluded to the same thing, right? I feel it really complicates things. And Jasprit Bumrah was the vice captain in South Africa in one of those test matches when Kohli was missing out. Now Bumrah is not even. I don't think he's even a vice captain material right now because he's a bowler, and generally I don't see his name as a vice captain. So it's going to be very interesting to see how India move forward. I think the discussion should be who should be India's next vice captain, which is pretty much similar to who will be the next leader, right? So I think it really confuses. Yes, Hardik has won the IPL, yes, but in India we have noticed that barring Kohli, most and maybe obviously Dhoni, a lot of Indian captains have struggled for form when they're captain. Even in the IPL, we've seen if you give them captaincy, they don't really perform their main skill very well. I think it's going to create a lot more confusion. Now Hardik's the fourth in line as per the Indian team selectors, right? You have Rohit, Rahul, Pant, and then only Hardik. So can you elevate someone like Bumrah randomly in the middle? I don't know. I am for it totally. But I think captaincy is very, very important in T20 cricket. Very, very vital. Like Wasim said, it's not something which you can just pick and choose some person just because he's captain the IPL.
Dale, I'm just thinking what this would do to players like Pant, like we're taking as an example, who themselves are they've not quite bossed the format in international cricket. Their place is not necessarily certain, and nobody's place tends to be certain in Indian cricket. But captaincy comes their way. What does that do for the growth of a player like that? Is that something to consider for players who will be given this rotational captaincy, which is certainly a reality now, but may not necessarily be. It may not be ideal for them at the stage of their career that they're in.
I think this is where the importance of, some teams don't have them, but a lot of teams will have somebody like a Paddy Upton who will work with players and be able to go to the management and say, listen, I think that this player he relishes with captaincy being a captain. You look at Hardik and you just feel like the moment he gets given a little bit of responsibility, captaincy, you see the best out of him. All of a sudden this guy is just a completely different player. This is where the psychiatrists or shrinks or whatever you want to call them. This is
catalyst.
Where they make.
These days we call Paddy the catalyst. Yeah.
The catalyst. This is where they make their money. Yeah.
Interesting. So identifying who should be part of the rotational captain setup will also involve a process. Maybe something that India needs to consider because it is going to be something that they have to deal with. Dustin?
Yeah, I'm wondering if India should just go the England way and just have a white ball captain who's separate from the red ball captain, maybe after this T20 World Cup. The problem is so many of the captaincy options also play test cricket. So then you're looking for someone who's a white ball specialist. I wanted to ask Wasim, do you think that making Hardik say the next white ball captain, will that mean then he's not part of India's test plans, that he's not going to play test cricket? Is that an issue then, that you're kind of saying, okay, he's a white ball cricketer, so we'll make him the white ball captain, but he's not going to play with the red balls?
I think he doesn't, if Hardik bowling 15 to 18 overs in a day, you don't see that happening with the kind, back surgery. And whether he bats at 4 or 5, I don't see that happening in red ball cricket. So in that sense, I feel he's far away from getting into the red ball circuit. So I think if you just leave him, bowling 4 overs or at max 10 overs in one day and batting at 4, 5, 6, I think will help him prolong his career.
The volume of cricket they're playing, I was just watching, it's incredible in the rest of this year. So not everyone's going to be available. Rohit Sharma has to be preserved properly because he's the main captain. He needs to play both the World Cups. Virat Kohli is already talking about breaks. Is it okay to have these 3 or 4 captains, or let's say 3 captains you have, which is rotating between them? And does it really have any impact on when India come to the bigger tournaments?
I think if India have identified who their captain is, so it's Rohit, even if you know that he's going to be missing a series or whatever, I think he's still going to be a very key figure in the decision making. He's going to be speaking to the coach. He's going to be on the phone to Rahul now, and he's going to say, "Listen, I like the way this was going on. I saw this, try this, or whatever the case." So even though Rishad is leading this team, he's still probably reporting back to somebody like Rohit, especially with the World Cup in place. Anything that leads up to the World Cup, Rohit's the captain for the World Cup. He's making the decisions as to what's going on up to that point.
But would you rotate captain, we started with the point of succession planning, right? Post 2023 World Cup. Would you have these guys get a couple of series each moving towards 2023 World Cup, and then that post 2023 we know there are 3 or 4 of these guys and we know what their leadership skills are leading India? Do you think that will work?
As long as they're captaining an IPL team, I think that's good. If you've got KL who's captaining in the IPL, if you've got Hardik who's captaining in the IPL, if you've got Rishad who's captaining in the IPL, at least you've got those guys. Those guys are doing the job. Then that's fine. We're going to have so many rotations and India's going to be playing so many series, then it's not an issue.
We've got another contender. He can read. Yeah, awesome. Dale, well done. Let's ask Justin and GS if there's anything they'd like to add. GS, anything the team needs to add now that this is going to be the reality for Indian cricket?
No, I think if at all they want to go the England way, I think that's a better way because you have consistency at least for the same captain. He gets to play and he gets a vision, he gets a goal. Randomly coming in for a couple of tournaments, a bilateral series like which all of us agree we don't remember.
Dustin?
Yeah, so the boring answer is I think that they should split the captaincy after the World Cup and maybe split the coaching as well. Ashish Nehra may be a candidate for T20
My
coach.
God, Dustin.
But the fun answer is that they should embrace this whole thing and do it like the WWE Royal Rumble, where you don't know who the captain is before the game, and then at the toss you have the entrance music play, and whoever's the captain for that day just walks out.
Straight red, Dustin, out of here, out of here. I thought I was going to say something radical when I said maybe just keep the coach in charge. But now we even have two coaches, right? Rahul Dravid also has to be split. Lakshman is going to Ireland, so we need rotating coaches as well. We have coaches here, Wasim Jaffer and Dale Steyn. Anyone to throw in their hat? I think India will be looking for a rotating coach at some point. Wasim, are you in for the job?
I'll be after a couple of years.
We'll leave it there. Thank you very much. Wasim, Dale, GS, Dustin, and Naga. Rotating captains. It's going to be a reality in Indian cricket now. Let's see what happens over the next 6 months.